Hello. I have to whisper because it's very late at night. What does the command TTS 100 something something mean in the title? Hello, Joni. So the exclamation mark commands thing means that if you type exclamation mark commands into the chat bot will respond to you and say, hey, here's a Google Doc containing all of my commands. So that's what that does. And the TTS 100 is basically telling you how many bits you have to donate in order for your message to be read out in text-to-speech. So if you donate 99 bits or less, it'll just be a normal message and I'll have to read it myself. But if you do 100 bits, then Brian text-to-speech reads it out. So that's what the TTS 100 is for as well. But yeah, that document should have everything that I have set up as a command, I believe. But yeah. Should probably change scene, shouldn't I? Oh, whoops. There we go. Wait, why can't you guys see that? Oh, whoops, I have to reselect it. There we go. Lock that in play. Oh, actually, no, don't lock it in place. That might screw with it. Any predictions or hopes and dreams? Okay, so my predictions are, I mean, I don't really know what to predict. Okay, I'm not going to predict anything. I'm just going to detail hopes / dreams. So my hope is like, okay, hang on. Before I do hopes and dreams, or just, I'll just say hopes. Before I do that, I want to say the things that I am pretty confident won't be in it, and that's Gen 10. The people who have been on Twitter for the last few weeks saying like, oh, well, not the last few weeks, but like have been saying since the Presents was announced, oh no, they're going to announce Gen 10 and it's going to be just as rushed as Gen 9. It's like, do you know nothing about how Pokemon does their things? They're not going to release Gen 10 this early. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they actually wait an extra 2 years specifically so that they can release Gen 10 on Pokemon's 30th anniversary. I would not be surprised in the slightest if that's what they're planning to do. Because I remember that they delayed Sun and Moon by a year just so that it would release on the anniversary. So I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they're waiting until the 2026 to do Gen 10 and have it be a 30th anniversary celebration game. But yeah, putting that aside, hopes and dreams. So, oh my, I still said dreams. Okay, my hopes. Either a black and white remake or another Pokemon Legends game. So, like, see, it's weird because I feel like we're not gonna get another Pokemon Legends game just because Pokemon Legends felt like an anomaly. Like, I felt like they really wanted to do something special for Gen 4 because it has such a strong place in people's hearts. So I feel like Legends Arceus is just its own thing and there's never gonna be another game like it. I hope that's not true because, I think the Legends type of game that they made has a lot of potential if they just, learn from the mistakes and keep improving on it and keep taking us to older versions of regions that we already know about. I think it'd be awesome. Wait, Tony, did you just subscribe to me? Why did the alert not show up? Thank you so much, Joni. I really appreciate that. I really don't know why the alert didn't show up, though. It should have. Okay, that's a little bit concerning, but thank you. Thank you so much for the subscription. I really, really appreciate that. I know that's, it's it's a lot to ask someone to spend money on you like that, you know what I mean? So thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I really, really appreciate that. I don't know why Santa Alerts didn't show up. Maybe the link is wrong. Can't imagine that's what the problem was, but I don't know. Might have to look into that. Let me see what the status is on Streamlabs. Subscriptions enabled. Okay, so what happens if I press test subscription?
This is a test.
You gotta be kidding me. Why is it crunchy? And why does it sound weird? Well, okay, I guess I kinda did it. I hope we get Pokemon games on Virtual Console. See, like, we really should have gotten that so long ago, but they just didn't do it. So if they... Sorry, I peeked the mic there. If they do end up doing that, I'll be very surprised, because they should have done it way before, like back when Game Boy was first announced. The first Pokemon Presents after Game Boy Virtual Console on Switch became a thing, they should have announced that, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I can't see that happening. I hope we get a Legends game or a Black and White remake, but actually good. Yeah, well that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of hoping more for a Legends game set in Unova rather than a Black and White remake, because if it's Ilka Inc. doing it again and it's the same level of involvement of Junichi Masuda, then I have like no hope of it, really. I mean, I'll probably get it, but it'll be like BDSP, where I just kind of dropped it instantly after I finished it. If we get a well, hang on, I need to scroll back through chat. If we get a BDSP style Black White remake, I'd rather never get a Black and White remake. BDSP was so embarrassing. Yeah, true, they should have. Hopefully we'll get some news on the new Pokemon Go season. Oh, I'm assuming there'll be Pokemon Go. Like, that's pretty much a given. There'll be Pokemon Go, there'll be probably Pokemon Cafe Remix, Pokemon Sleep. Like, there'll be news on like every major side Pokemon project. And speaking of hopes, personally, as a Mystery Dungeon fan, I'm still holding out for either a new Mystery Dungeon game or a Explorers of Time Darkness Sky remake. I think that'd be awesome. But if they are planning on doing that, they're probably going to wait until the next Switch, because they've already done the Rescue Team remake on the Switch, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're saving the next one for the next console. But I'm still holding out hope for something Pokemon Mystery Dungeon related, because I love Mystery Dungeon. It's such a good series. Spike Chunsoft hit a gold mine with that game, and like, obviously, you know, people don't really like the later games in the series as much as the older ones, but they still have a very special place in my heart, and I still really enjoyed playing them. So like, ideally it would be like you're saying, Joni, a remake of Sky. Like, it would be like, I don't know what they'd call it, maybe like Explorers DX maybe, and it's like Time, Darkness, and Sky all combined into one game with all the content of all three games. Like, oh, that'd just be incredible. I can't see that happening though. If they do end up doing a remake, I would not be surprised in the slightest if it ends up just being Time and Darkness. I would hope that they're not that silly and actually, you know, go the whole mile, but unfortunately we've seen a trend in recent times of companies doing remakes of games but not actually making them definitive. For example, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and very recently, Persona 3 Reload. So you think it's logical, but it seems like companies are just taking the easy way out and not doing as much as they could, because they know they can put in less effort and still sell well. So it's just, yeah, it's shit, man. I still have hope, but yeah, I don't think Mystery Dungeon's gonna show up. I think even, like, here's the thing, something major has to be announced, right? Because you've got all these side projects that are kind of like the filler. Well, they're not filler, but like they're the content that people are like, oh yeah, that's okay, and then like they show something at the end, and that's the thing that everyone's fixated on, right? So what the heck is that going to be? Is it going to be another Legends game? Is it going to be the Black and White remakes? Is it going to be, dare I say it, a third and fourth DLC for Scarlet and Violet somehow? That's not going to happen because they did the epilogue, which is pretty much a definitive, yeah, this is the final piece of content we're making. But yeah, like, look, if it ends up being like more Scarlet Violet DLC, I would not be opposed to that, because I really like Paldea and the characters they introduced. I think it's a great game at its core. So I would not be opposed to that in the slightest, but it's not going to happen. But it just raises so many questions on what they're doing, because there's got to be something. Like, it's really weird. I feel like everything that we keep theorizing could happen just seems unrealistic, you know? Like, another Legends game seems unrealistic. Black and White remakes, although they would make sense because Gen 4 was the first generation... Sorry, Gen 4 and Gen 5 were the first generations that were released on the same device. So it would make sense for them to do remakes for Black and White, because then, just like with the DS, where it had both Gen 4 and Gen 5, the Switch would have both the Gen 4 and Gen 5 remakes on it, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I guess we're too scared to hope for something we want, too scared of getting disappointed. Yeah, that's understandable. I kind of feel that way. It's just... yeah. Like, with how Game Freak and the Pokemon Company have been lately, it just seems like even though they should be even though they could be capable of way more, the restrictions that they impose on themselves is heavily restricting what they can do. So like, I'm just thinking, because I remember when Scarlet and Violet came out, they actually came out and said, we are going to reevaluate our business model. Now, whether or not they actually do anything about that, whether that means more game dev time, or, you know, more time between releases, or anything like that, we have no idea. We have no idea if it's actually going to, if anything's actually going to come from it. But one thing that I'm very intrigued about is if that is the case, if they have actually reevaluated their business model and have decided that they're going to give themselves more development time on the projects they have in the works, does that mean we're not going to get a major announcement from this Presents? Like, could it be that this whole Presents is just side Pokemon content and there's no major announcement? If that ends up being the case, I would actually be pretty happy, because it would show that they are actually taking feedback into consideration and are actually going to put more time into their games. But at the same time, it's going to leave a lot of people really disappointed, because they came into this thinking there was going to be a major announcement, because that's what always happens. And then if it ends up that there's not anything major, people are going to be like, oh man, that was such a waste of time. But like, it would be worth it, at least in my opinion. It's just an interesting situation we find ourselves in, because the Pokemon Company have literally come out and said that they will consider reevaluating their business model, and that changes things. Whether or not they actually act on it, like I said, who knows, may or may not happen, but the fact that it might actually happen because they have come out and said it is promising, and it definitely creates an interesting scenario of where they're going to go from here. Maybe they'll announce a way for Bank to still work. It's going to be so sad when for the first time since Gen 3 we can transfer Pokemon from then to now. We can't transfer Pokemon from then to now. Yeah. Yeah, it's so stupid, because I'm pretty sure the way Pokemon Bank works now is you had to have Pokemon Bank downloaded before the eShop got shut down. So obviously, you know, if you didn't have Pokemon Bank installed when the eShop got shut down, then tough luck, you don't have it. And even then, like, the people who do have Bank installed still I don't think they can actually guarantee that they'll be able to stay up forever. I have Bank and Poker Transfer on my old 3DS. Yeah, see, I have Bank, but I completely forgot about Poker Transfer. I thought for some dumb reason that Poker Transfer was actually Dream Radar, and when I found out the Dream Radar cost money, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to get it then. And, like, literally the day after the eShop got shut down, they were like, I saw a tweet from, like, what at the time was 2 days old saying, hey, make sure you install Pokemon Bank and Poker Transporter. I'm like, oh my god, it was Poker Transporter. It was Poker Transporter, I don't have it. I can't take Pokemon from Gen 5 through to Gen 6. So my restrictions on Pokemon that I can bring forward are Gen 6 and ahead, so that's unfortunate. But hey, the Pokemon that I really wanted to get through have come through. I have my 2013 event Keldeo, which is probably my rarest Pokemon. And I know I've said this before, but I just can't get over the fact that I got that on the last day the event was active. That's absolutely insane. But I cherish that Keldeo. It's level 100, it's maxed out EVs. I don't know what its IVs are. I haven't really looked at that, to be honest. And it's sitting at Pokemon Home, safe and sound. But yeah, man. I wonder what they're gonna do. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they do. Alright, so we got 11 minutes. Huh. Yeah, this is probably like the most uncertain I've been about a Presents, because like, as far as we know, Gen 9 is done. So, at least, well, the main games I mean, like Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet's done. So where do they go from here? Because, like, there's no way they're gonna do Gen 10. There's just no way. Or, you know, if they do announce Gen 10, I would hope that it's not this coming holiday season. It'd be the next holiday season. If they were to do that, and then to have like a year-long hype season, or like a 2-year-long hype season, that could be very interesting. Like, that's the only circumstance where I'd be okay with a Gen 10 reveal, if they actually, like, say, if they announce it and then say, like, oh, because it's gonna be a celebration of the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, we won't be releasing until 2026. That would be very, very interesting if they did that. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Oh boy. By the way, I saw earlier, Joni, that you, oh, I've already lost my train of thought because I was looking at other DMs. Damn it, what was I gonna say? I've already forgotten. I have such a terrible memory, especially when I'm tired. Please let the new Pokemon Go stuff be good. The game has gone downhill so bad. Yeah. From what I've heard, Niantic has been very it's been very complacent. Well, maybe complacent's not the right word. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like they're getting too comfortable with where they are. Like they see themselves as like the king of like that kind of like mobile AR game. So they've just kind of they're putting less effort into it because it's not required. They know the game is popular, so they're just not going to do as much with it. At least that's just the impression I get as an outside observer. I don't actually play it, so I wouldn't know, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, I've definitely heard. I've seen Joe Merrick, the guy that runs Cerebi. Most of his tweets are him criticizing Pokemon Go for the constant monetization of things that really shouldn't be, like timed research events. I think they're called. Event tickets galore, and the newest big yearly event was a letdown too. I mean, look, to be fair, the game is very old at this point, but at the same time, if you're gonna make a game like Pokemon Go, you need to commit to it and realize that you've made a live service Pokemon game. You know, like that's, and it's also on it was originally on a much larger scale than something like Pokemon Masters, because like you're now committing to put every single Pokemon in the game in it. So it's like, you be careful about how you handle that. Every event is just a more watered down version of the year before, but also having to pay for it. Yeah, that's insane. That's actually crazy. It has so much potential too, but they don't do anything with it. See, Joni, I can relate to that extremely heavily, not with Pokemon, but with another game that I poured my heart and soul into a year or two ago. There was a third-person shooter I really like. I still like it, but I don't play it every day anymore. It's called Rogue Company. It was my jam. Hey Liz, welcome to the stream. Rogue Company was my jam for almost 3 years, and then it just started going downhill very quickly because Hi-Rez, the company behind the developers, the publishers, they're absolutely terrible at what they do. And they just kind of let it sink. And now there's a very, very small dev team working on it, trying to fix things and trying to add new things, but because they're such a small team, they release stuff at a very, very slow rate. Like, there was about a month in between the last, the update that just happened and the update before that, and the only thing that happened in the new update was 3 balancing changes that barely affect the characters. So they obviously don't understand how to balance characters either, so that was like, oh man, finally get something new and this is what it is. Yikes. Anyway, this isn't Rogue Company, this is Pokemon. Liz, you missed us discussing what we think is going to be in the presents, which is, like, there's a lot of things they could put in this presents. We really don't know what they're going to show us. It's the Pokemon game with the most Pokemon in it of any Pokemon Go game. It overtook Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon like 6 months ago. Yeah, Pokemon Go is huge now. It's actually insane. Like, they say like, oh, we can't put every Pokemon in the game, but also we're going to put every Pokemon in Pokemon Go. But see, that's because it's a live service game, we can keep updating it. We couldn't possibly keep updating our new releases. It's really sad, is what it is. But yeah, that is unfortunately the state of the games we play, you know? Companies are getting more and more lazy because they know they can get away with it. Also, prior to Scarlet Violet, they just used the old XY models, but a little updated. Yeah, and then they tried to say, like, I was looking through old DMs with a friend of mine on Discord, and I found the part where Sword and Shield got announced, and we were, like, ranting about how bad it was. And they were like, one of Junichi Masuda's things about, like, an excuse for not putting all the Pokemon in the game was, oh, but we're using so many new high-quality animations. Like, they're not. They're the same models. They're the same animations. You're not actually adding anything. Like, in terms of Pokemon animations, you're not actually adding anything. You're upscaling them and porting them. That's no excuse. And obviously, you know, it's changed now. Like, there's new animations for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's new textures on the models. Some of the models are actually different, which is, you know, a pretty low bar. But hey, at least they're actually doing something. But yeah, like, it's just... I'm playing through Pokemon Shield right now, and while it's nice to have a bit more classic Pokemon game on the Switch, it's It's fine, but Violet is so much more fun. It's funny that you say that, because my brother tried to play Pokemon Violet, and he didn't enjoy it because it was too different. Like, he didn't like open world Pokemon, and I don't know if that's just because he's too nostalgic for older Pokemon games, or if he just doesn't like the way that Violet executed its open world, which, if that's the case, completely understandable. And I mean, it's also completely understandable if it's just a nostalgia thing for him too. But he has Violet, and I don't think he's touched it since, like, Christmas, like, when he got it. So, yeah, like, yeah, I don't think he's... Like, he might come back to it and find that he likes it, because he did do that with Breath of the Wild. When he first played Breath of the Wild, he was like, I just can't get into it, it's not Zelda to me. And I was like, okay, that's fair. It is a pretty big departure from what Zelda is. But then he came back to it, like, I don't know, a long time after, and he fucking loved Breath of the Wild. And then when Tears of the Kingdom came out, he played that when it came out, and he absolutely loves Tears of the Kingdom. So, like, maybe he just needs more time. I never bothered with Sword and Shield. Nothing about it interested me, especially with how I heard the region was essentially a straight line outside of the wild area. Yeah, it literally is a straight line. And look, I get that, because it's like, it's an upside down UK, and the UK is kind of like that. The UK kind of is just like, you know, in terms of the major cities, I think it really is just like a straight line with some curves here and there, until you get to, like, the southern part. The southern part's a bit more varied, but, like, the northern part of England is pretty, like, it's pretty linear. Some of the routes have a tiny bit more variety to them, but yeah, the region design is pretty much just a straight line. Yeah, it's extremely linear, and yes, the wild area does suck. You can make the UK not a straight line. Kanto is pretty much a literal straight line grid IRL. That's very true. There's plenty of places in the world that really are just like grids and stuff, because that's how they were planned. Wooloo is cute and the game has Snom, so it's fine. You know what? Valid. Okay, I'm going to turn off the music, because the presentation is starting soon. So we're going to focus on that rather than the music. I also need to make sure the music isn't too loud. Alright, it's 1 AM, so we should be getting the premiere countdown very soon. Hopefully. Hello. There we go. I knew it was coming. Oh, that's loud. Okay, hang on. What do you mean? Oh, I muted it. Okay, how about 30%? It's still a bit loud. Bro, what? What is wrong with the sound alerts? This isn't even a CPU thing at this point. Yeah, I don't know why the sound alerts are screwed. It's like there's literally no excuse. It's just the sound alerts being screwed because I have a new PC. It has plenty of CPU. Anyway. Here we go. Okay, I do have to turn it up. Pikachu and Unknown. Hello. Rearrange to say Pokemon Day. Never mind, they didn't do it. I thought they would. Oh well.
Hello everyone. I'm Ishihara from the Pokémon Company. Today, February 27, is Pokémon Day.
It's the 28th for
This
me,
is
but
the
sure.
date that the Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green games were first released in Japan.
So
Our
I'll try and get some
adventures with
subtitles
Pokémon,
up.
which started with the simple fun of collecting, trading, and battling in the Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green games, have expanded to fit into so many facets of daily life, including walking and sleeping. We'll keep challenging ourselves to create new ways to enjoy Pokemon, and we hope
Ogapon,
you'll continue
Terapagos,
your
and the
adventures
loyal
with
3
us.
plushies. That's awesome.
Today, we will be bringing you all the latest news about Pokemon, including our newest titles. Mr. Utsunomiya, please take it away.
Mr. Anomiya. That is not his name. It's
Hello, I'm
Utsunomiya.
Utsunomiya from the
I'm
Pokemon Company.
Utanomiya.
I hope everyone has enjoyed their adventures in the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games so far.
To commemorate Pokemon Day, we've planned a series of Terra Raid
Wow.
battle events where you'll be able to face off
I
against
can't
the mighty
believe it,
Venusaur,
guys.
Blastoise, and
New
Charizard.
Terra
The first
raids.
of these
I
Terra
lost
Raid
interest in
battle
these
events
a
will
long
begin
time ago.
tomorrow. We hope you will all enjoy these raids. Today, I'd also like to share the latest updates on a number of our other games.
You don't say.
Please have a look at this.
Alright, what's this one? Oh, that's a cool transition. I like that. Okay, one go. Here you go, Joni. This is for you. They're crossing over with Pokemon Horizons.
Pokemon Go is on its way. Pikachu wearing Cap's hat is making its
Wow,
debut.
that's so crazy,
It even knows
bro.
an attack new to Pokemon Go, Volt Tackle.
Ceruledge, baby! I love this thing.
Charcadet,
Ceruledge is
Armarouge, and
such a
Ceruledge
good
are coming
Pokemon.
too. And Liko and Roy will be dropping in when you snap a pick and go snapshot. So set
Wow,
out on
that
an
sounds
adventure with your
so
new
cool,
friends.
bro. Oh wow, an advertisement for Pokemon Horizons. Awesome, bro. What's next? Pokemon Sleep. Mm-hmm. Yo! The legendary beasts. That's sick. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, Joni. Why does that guy look like Josh Giddey? I'm really sorry about that, Joni. Dude, there's a Raikou in my room. Raikou is coming to Pokemon Sleep, and so are Entei and Suicune. Wow. You can get a gift just by logging in. That's how every mobile game works. Yep, Master CX. So Cafe Remix will probably be next.
Now, I never give up.
Hello, Lance.
We're just getting started. We're the greatest in the world.
Joe Zija
We're the
voices
greatest and
Silver?
strongest partner I could ask for.
Oh, I love that. That works so well. That is such a good voice for him. Oh, they're bringing in Geeta. Or was Geeta already in it? Maybe Geeta was already in it. God, they are flashing these announcements across the screen. I barely got any time to read any of them. I told you, Cafe Remix. I don't even know what this game is meant to be anymore. Miraidon and Koraidon eating all the sandwiches in typical fashion. You know leaks were fake the second they mentioned no Cafe Remix news. Alright, what's next? Unite? Oh, yep, it's Unite. This has been a very, very quick presents. Alright, Miraidon and Unite. Can't say I'm too surprised by that. Yo, Phalanx? Ah, Ceruledge. Sorry, that's still not enough to convince me to play the game. I'm not the only one who thinks this, right? Like, they're really rushing through these announcements. They're going up on screen and then going away within the second. No way. Why are you playing Game Boy music?
Moving on, please have a look at this video.
Wow, okay. Went from one video to another. Is this another mobile game? Pokemon trading card game on mobile. Really? Oh my god, that's terrible. Come on, bro, just get card games. Like, just get trading cards. If you want to play the trading card game, just get actual cards, bro. That's what they're there for. They're so uninterested in this. He's not even looking at the screen. Yeah, this will be banned in like the entirety of Europe. My god, it's holographic! Look guys, they're so immersive! If they are free, maybe, but like... What the hell? What? Okay, that's very weird. If you could upload the cards you own IRL, that would actually be cool. Otherwise, nah. Trading card game pocket. What did it say about 2 packs at no cost? I didn't completely see that.
What you just saw was the world's first look at Pokémon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Damn, bro.
This game lets you easily collect Pokémon cards, which players all over the world have enjoyed since they debuted in 1996, but in a new digital format.
Wow, crazy, bro.
The Pokémon Company is developing this game as a 3-party collaboration with Creatures Inc., the creators of the Pokémon Trading Card game, and DNA, are partners in the development of Pokémon Masters EX. To mark the launch of this title, here's a message from Mr. Yuji Kitano, President and CEO of Creatures.
Really? So
Mr. Kitano,
is this gonna be the majority of the presentation then? The trading card game for phone?
I'd like to start by thanking everyone for enjoying the Pokémon Trading Card game. With Pokémon Trading Card Game Pocket, we hope to bring you all a new way to enjoy the Pokémon Trading Card game, so we are hard at work developing digital cards. When
It's so over.
Physical cards, we strive to please by taking great care with our paper quality, colors, and printing
Yeah,
process.
so now why are you making them digital then?
Since this game uses mobile devices rather than paper, we're challenging ourselves to express that care in new ways that are only possible digitally, such as using the characteristics of the screen to show off brilliant colors and stylish effects.
I mean, I guess, but like, come on, man.
One way we're accomplishing this is with immersive cards, which give players the experience of leaping into the world of the card illustration.
I guess this is cool.
What's more, we've developed
like,
new streamlined game rules based on our existing battle system, so you can enjoy a quick battle during the free moments in your day.
I guess that's kind of cool.
Our 3 companies are all working hard to deliver a fun experience for those of you who already enjoy
They're
the
just
Pokemon trading
NFTs.
card game.
Honestly,
as well as
would not be
those who've never
surprised.
played before. We hope you look forward to the results of our latest efforts in the world of the Pokemon Trading Card game, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
I
Thank
think
you so much.
there might be one more announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Kitano. We plan to launch Pokémon Trading Card Game Pocket within 2024.
Okay. Now what?
Please look forward to more details in the future. Just one more thing.
Yep, one more thing.
We'd like to end today's presentation with one final video for you all. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, so what's the final video? Virtual console, perhaps? Wait, what does that say? Oh, see you. Right. Imagine if that was question mark? Is it Unova related? Because they keep showing unknown. Legends Johto would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. Oh, it's Game Freak. Okay. This is interesting. Urban redevelopment plan. Is this a Legends game? No, it's future. I think. What the heck is going on with this trailer? I see Furfro. No way, they actually credited Furfro. It's Carlos. Urban redevelopment plan Lumio City. Pokemon Legends Z minus? And it's coming out next year. With Mega Evolutions. Okay, look, I was hoping for a Legends game, but I did not think in the slightest it was going to go to Carlos. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So that looked like a Legends game that takes place in the future. Carlos is a great setting with the old King lore and the weapon. That's true. They could maybe elaborate on that. Bro, look at this fake black and white remake footage at the top. Oh my god. How desperate do you have to be? I need to like, I just need to take some time to think about this for a second, because like, that was straight up like, it's it's weird. It's a Legends game that's futuristic? Unless, maybe the paper plans were what they were alluding to, maybe. Like, so you reckon the title was Z through A? Z to A. Because to me, when I first saw that like A looking shape, I almost thought like Theta. But that would make sense if it was Z through A. Wow, that is... Okay, you know what? I actually want to like go back and like look at that trailer again. Confidential. Now covering up Lumiose. A vision of beautiful coexistence between people and Pokemon. Yeah, so it's them drawing up what looks like... See, this looks like old Paris, you know what I mean? This looks like, you know, like the classical Paris architecture. But then it goes into the future. So it's like... And there's a big emphasis on on like futuristic appealing here. And yeah, like I should have guessed that it was Carlos way earlier, because it seems like most of the Pokemon they're showing are Carlos Pokemon. You've got Furfro. Like, can we talk about the fact that Furfro has returned? Like, Furfro has been neglected since Gen 6, and then they just casually drop like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing a Legends game in Carlos, and this isn't just Furfro. This is a Furfro with a style, and that was like I thought that was like the main reason that Furfro never came back, because the styles would be hard to like implement back into other games and have a way to actually do them. So like the fact we're actually seeing Furfro is kind of nuts. So there's Klefki and Flabebe, and then I mean there's some non-Carlos Pokemon, like you go to Dragonair over here, but there's a Hawlucha, there's like the birds. There's obviously Prism Tower, is that what they call it? Got Gyarados, because of course. I generally can't tell what that is. That's a Mulga. That's a Go-Goat. Then we got an Aegislash fighting a Sylveon. That's a Crocodile with Sandiles. Is that another... Try to see if that was like another Furfro. We got Pinsir and Heracross fighting each other. Got a Talonflame flying through. I love that the subtitles he. But yeah, like that's what Lumio City looks like in X and Y. Like that's the overview look of it. But like these are different. I'm pretty sure these little spots here aren't there in the original. So it's like this is like this is the vision of the future for Lumio City. But then you have the plan for it here. The like old town planning for it. By the way, I can't see chat, so if you guys are saying things, I'll read them in a bit. And then yeah, it's Pokemon Legends. It even has a different font to the original Legends. And then it's Z through A. Also, very interesting choice for the logo. Like coral pink, grey and white. And look, I'm glad that the focus is on Zygarde, because the fact that like when they eventually did more stuff with Zygarde, it was just like, oh, collect Zygarde cells in Sun and Moon. Like literally in the next generation they did stuff with Zygarde. So I'm glad that they're now going back to this. And I'm wondering if like the alpha part or maybe Zygarde's gonna get another form where it's like the alpha form or something like that. Releasing simultaneously worldwide in 2025. So I have an awful suspicion that means January 2025, much like Legends Arceus, because Legends Arceus was, it's releasing next year, but it released in January. So it was really like an extra 2 months wait. So this is interesting. This is either going to come out in January and be as rushed as, well, I mean, Legends Arceus wasn't actually rushed. It was actually worked on for quite a while, but they just, they just released it a little too early. This could potentially be like this could be like a mid-2025 release, possibly. And the fact that it's coming on the Switch, because, like, the rumors keep telling us that, it's going to be, it's going to be like the Switch is going to come out in the next Switch is going to come out in 2025. So it's very, very interesting to see what they're going to do here. All right, I'm going to go back through chat. See what I missed. Pokemon Z is real. Wow. Also, it's Z through A like Omega and Alpha, which is a Bible reference. Huh. I think the protagonist is from the future going to the past. Maybe. It could also be the opposite. It could also be that the protagonist is from the past when the city planning was happening, and then they go into the future and they see it actually in person. That could be kind of cool. But the other way around does also sound cool. The coexistence thing is like in Arceus where people didn't like Pokemon living with them. That's true. Doesn't it just look like the Lumio City of today, but they're dreaming up the city plans a vision of people and Pokemon coexisting, which is just what Lumio City is today. Yeah, so that perspective would be from the past then. I think the 3D futuristic thing is more so a visualization than anything concrete. The designer's imagination of their ideal city, that makes sense. It could be just that. The country is a circle. I'll keep making the Full Metal Alchemist reference. The font use is also the same used in Legends Arceus, right? Language too. Yeah, I think that's just a universal Pokemon font though. The Z is also physically going through the A. Yeah, I noticed that on the second watch through. The Legends logo is more so, I think, meant to look like faded paper. While the Z and A are digital and natural. Yeah, that's also something interesting. It's like the Z is the future, and the A is the past almost. Like, if we're from the future going to the past, that would explain why it's Z through A and not like A through Z. So that could be it too. It kind of makes me believe Zygarde is an artificial Pokemon created and sent from the future. That's a really interesting theory. Maybe someone made Zygarde, and Zygarde's whole purpose is to control and stop Xerneas and Yveltal from going haywire. Maybe like in the future, Carlos actually gets devastated by Xerneas and Yveltal, and that's why they have to create Zygarde to calm them. Maybe it'll be like a whole time paradox thing. Like maybe there will be more emphasis on the whole time travel aspect. That would be really cool. They just announced the event for Pokemon Go with Charcadet and the Pikachu. There you go. Alright, well, that was very, very interesting. Pokemon Legends Z through A. I still don't know what to call it. Z to A? Z through A? Normally I call it Z through A or Z to A, but because it's American, it's pronounced Z. That's really, really fascinating. I don't think anybody saw them doing a Legends game in Carlos. Like, the assumption was like Johto or Pokemon Czar, like Pizza, of course. But yeah, everyone was assuming that if they did another Legends game, it'd be either Unova or like Johto. Because Unova, since that's the next gen after Gen 4, and then like it's fascinating. I'm really excited for this. This has like a lot of potential to be really, really cool. And I'm glad that they're not leaving it as just Legends Arceus. They're actually making it a series. That's so good. That's a really, really good thing. I'm glad they're not ditching that. Charcadet isn't even a wild spawn, it's locked to eggs, and the Pikachu with the hat is a rare wild spawn. It's so over for us Pokemon Go fans. Legend C to A is so hype. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm so glad it's coming out next year. I know it's probably going to come out in January, just like Legends Arceus did, but still. 2025. We're not getting a major Pokemon game this year. That's good. That's good. That means they're giving themselves even just that little bit more time to develop. Any extra development time is good. So that this is promising. I like this. Anyway, that is going to do it for me. I really need to go to bed because it's very late. It's 25 past 1. So yeah, I got to go to bed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, have a good sleep, everyone. Sorry, not have a good sleep. You guys are fucking wide awake. Have a good day, everybody. And I'll see you guys next weekend, sorry. On Sunday for Like a Dragon Gaiden. Very excited about that, because we beat Yakuza Like a Dragon, so now it's up to Like a Dragon Gaiden. Woohoo! Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!